I'm gonna put some Bon Jovi on beer back.
We are recording.
Okay, good. So, Bandit Blades, or Bon of Jovies, I guess. Section
Jovies.
11. And we are
More than
in
halfway
Fort
there.
Calisco. And we have 2 missions for ourselves. Now, we know that obviously the fort is being besieged by the Blighters' armies, and it is not possible for you to advance from the fort until you figure out some sort of a route out of it.
Yeah.
One of the sort of immediate ideas was that maybe we need to find some smugglers or some anyone who's doing any sort of shady entering and leaving. And we have obviously got to stick around until we figure out how to leave the fort. And we have 2 missions now to deal with, neither of which is directly really related to that stuff. But so the handouts are in roll 20. So, Commander, would you like to brief us on our options?
Indeed. So we have 2 missions. The first is Emerald Light. A peculiar sort of economy exists in Fort Calisco while it is under siege. Many fragments of armed forces from different nations and a host of stranded merchants do what business they can and must to last until the next day. We can barter for some goods and assets. In particular, there is a stranded merchant prince looking to offload a number of horses for a reasonable price. The reward for succeeding in this mission is +1 supply, +1 horses. There is no penalty for it. The next mission, and the one that I'm personally favouring, is called the Side Gate. Following the Legion's entrance to Fort Calisco, the Blighters' armies have redoubled their efforts to compensate for the loss of their heavy siege weapons. Black Rotting Gale itself has taken to the field and is commanding an assault to break the side entrance. They're bringing in what siege equipment and elites they can. It'll be a hard fight, but we must not allow the fort defences to break. Repel the assault with Commander Jonacus' forces. This is an assault mission. The reward is +2 morale, +1 intel, and the penalty should we fail is +1 pressure.
Much as I really like the sound of the trade mission, and that would be quite a nice change of pace for us, it's obvious that the side gate is far more important.
Well, bear in mind we only have 2 missions, so we can roll for Emerald Light.
Yeah.
And we can
Yeah, but
attempt the side.
failing
what I'm
failing
saying.
the side gate seems like a dire like situation.
Well, yeah, the thing is that even if we fail Emerald Light, there's no penalty for it.
Exactly.
Whereas I'm personally thinking we've got siege weapons, we've got bolt throwers, we've built them, set them up on the walls, open up on the Blighters' forces, give them a taste of their own medicine, and especially since it's our entry and our destruction of their siege weapons that has prompted this renewed assault against the side gate. So I don't think we can just sort of wash our hands of it and walk away when, despite the best of our intentions, we've sort of indirectly led to this renewed assault. So I think we owe it to the defenders of Fort Calisco to help them.
Well, the side gate is probably going to be quite a grueling endeavour for the men. I agree. We need to forge ahead. I do not doubt it'll be long before the Cinder King himself becomes aware we're here.
Well, I'm hoping, since they've not got like the big heavy siege weapons, I'm hoping they're going to have to approach closer to the walls to actually start doing what they want. So I'm hoping that with our like bolt throwers mounted on the walls, we can like thin them out a little bit as they're getting closer.
This is going to be a slugfest, though it would seem. This is not something that.
Yeah,
we need to give them a taste of good Zemyati steel.
Deal.
Yeah, it's literally going to be a fight at the gate and on the battlements and all that. Because they're trying to get in. They're not trying to pepper the gate with siege weaponry. They're going to try and bust through.
See, I'm assuming, and obviously please correct me if I'm wrong, Johannes, from the mission brief, that like the actual goal of the mission will be to like stop their initial attack and then to basically hold the gate for a period of time.
Yeah, like repel this assault, like whatever that it turns out being, because even I don't know like how it's gonna turn out. But yeah, the idea being that they're gonna start the assault pronto, and when we start the mission, we're gonna cut right into it, and then the sort of, I guess you're going for the victory condition here.
Yes.
So turn them away, and I guess like make sure that the gate doesn't fall if someone leans on it.
Yeah.
Like whatever form all that takes.
So to be honest, obviously, and I'm throwing this open to sort of input from my quartermaster and my marshal, obviously. What I'm thinking is they're going to have to approach the walls. We know what direction they're coming in. We get the explosives experts out there, set some explosives to like slow them down a bit. Anything we can do to delay them buys the bolt throwers more time to thin them out. Hopefully by the time they get to the gate, their forces will be vastly depleted. We then have our sort of vanguard ride out, smash whatever remains, then we draw back in the fortress, is what I'm thinking.
And the vanguard is the squad that I'm forming.
Well, the vanguard will be whatever combat capable troops we have available.
Okay.
But like I say, I'm just throwing this open as a suggestion. That's my initial thoughts. If you guys have different ideas, obviously you are my most trusted lieutenants, so please, any ideas you've got.
From what I obviously I'm not intelligence expert. From what we've recovered from engagements with the enemy is that they seem to lose cohesion when certain individuals are taken out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is that
You are aware, of course, Commander, that the siege weapons we were building have now been... Well, the one siege weapon we were building has now been completed.
yes, that's why I'm saying mounted on the wall and fire it at them several times.
Marvellous.
What I'm also thinking is, if as well as the bolt thrower on the wall, we've got enough black powder supplies to have like whatever squad Marshal Barbosa sets up, like lined up on the walls with rifles and black shot. One thing we know about Black Rotting Gale, having encountered it previously, is it's big. It's going to stand out. So if we can, like, as it's approaching, if we can, like, fill that full of black shot and potentially deal with Black Rotting Gale before they get there, that'll hopefully throw them a bit into disarray, and we can pick off their commanders before we, like, send the vanguard out.
Debrief I got from the men was that is deadly at range and at close combat.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw the state the Kingfisher Knight was in after fighting against.
But it is slightly more manageable at range. So perhaps we want to try and wear it down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we can kill it before it gets to the gate with like rapid fuselages of like black powder shot, then great. If not, even if we weaken it.
Yeah. Which of my darlings do I want to send out to die today?
We have now got a very good alchemist. We could ask Vermilion to cook something up to put into the siege weapon.
I do believe, and again, Johannes, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think you have to use like a project to like acquire alchemical stuff.
That is partially the case, yeah. However, depending on what exactly you would like, we can just make a roll for it now and see how it turns out.
Okay.
If you want, so the difference being, I guess, like if you want one sort of like special javelin for the bolt thrower, I guess, or the special bolt that does something a little extra, as opposed to you want the like silver bullet to destroy the thing immediately, you can roll for the extra thing, but the immediate destruction thing would be a
just to quickly check, do we have, and obviously feel free to say no if we don't know this, because we know where they're coming from, we know they're coming. Do we have any sort of rough idea of how long it's going to be before they're here? Because I'm wondering, do we have time to like dig any pits and like fill them full of oil?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Whatever plan, as long as it's not campaign action level stuff.
Because we know from our previous engagements against the forces of undeath that they have to have working musculature, etc., to move. Now, if you set someone on fire, even if like a zombie's ignoring the fact that it's on fire, eventually enough muscle will burn away that it won't be viable for it to keep moving, or it will be disabled. So I'm thinking if we dig some like big ass pits, fill them with oil, First of all, they're going to fall into the pit and they're going to have to get out. And all the while they're doing that, they're burning.
Mm-hmm. So I think, yeah, for both of these ideas, you can make a roll if you should so choose. Now, we know that the alchemist, we briefly discussed it before. So alchemists work in such a way that when they do their thing, they become corrupted by the act of doing so, because the craft itself is now broken on a fundamental reality level.
But Vermilion's already broken.
Yeah. So Vermilion can roll for it, but Vermilion will be like losing some of their ticks to it. But yeah, so you can, if you want to try and cook something alchemical up, you can do it. If you want to make some siege works, you can do that.
Roll fortune, yeah?
Yes.
How many dice?
I'm trying to remember, because there's an example of this sort of like impromptu thing. Let me quickly look it up.
Are we having a kill zone around the gate? Is that essentially what we're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, we dig the pits to the side, fill them with oil. As they're approaching, we light them. Then they've got two choices. They're either funneled into the kill zone where we have the war machine pointed at it, and we have all the black powder firing into that little kill zone, or they fall into the pits and burn. Either of which I am happy with. Yeah, but if they go too far around, they're not going to be attacking the gate.
Do you want the squad out in the field or on like the parapet firing the siege?
Initially, I want them on the. I would prefer them on the battlements. Obviously, we'll have some people working the siege engine, and the rest of them armed with whatever black powder we can muster, sort of firing at any of the undead who go into like the kill zone, effectively. But their first order should be to take down Black Rotting Gale if at all possible. That needs to be like the first order of business, taking that thing down.
Okay, so I think I've got to figure out. Yeah, but just roll a 1 die fortune thing for making the.
6.
Nice.
6. Okay, so you have a very good prototype. What? What were you building, or having Vermilion build? I guess.
I don't know, something that's gonna hurt that thing.
I'm assuming it's
You're saying
like
bolt thrower, and it's Vermilion that's making it, so I'm thinking like a spear that's gonna stick into it with like a barbed tip, and then explode.
Well, the thing is, you have like as well as black powder, there's like black arrows which do the same thing. So if we can effectively make like a giant incendiary one of them.
Yeah, we can chuck some black powder in it.
Yeah. So
how many uses of black shot will it be?
No, that's covered by this roll that you just made.
Have we considered firing Zora at them?
So,
like streaking through the sky like Superman style, like a comet.
Yeah, surfing on the
plane. No, it's the living god.
Yeah. So we have a very large black arrow for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Exploding black arrow.
Yeah.
Probably gives us portent or something against
because then hopefully even if we miss, there'll be like a big explosion that might take out some of the lesser
black shot. Yeah.
Okay, and please give me another roll. 1 die. This is how many corruption Vermilion suffers.
Okay, that's not a number I want to see get too high.
I know you want the big ones for this. 4 is
his clock.
Yeah, 4 is 2.
Oh,
2 corruption.
Okay.
That's not quite so bad then.
Yep.
Will he because he's now like a sort of camp asset, will he still getting the benefit of the recuperation stuff? Like
no, he's off he's not a legionnaire anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're as far as I understand it, once the alchemist burnt out, that's it. They're done.
Yeah, and once you're an asset, you're no longer a legionnaire.
How very corporate.
Yeah. Retired.
Was the only way to keep him as a character in the game at all.
Hey, I was happy not to take the morale loss. I was
okay.
I was ecstatic.
Since the rest of like the sort of pits and whatever are going to be dug by whatever squad the marshals are selecting, do you want to roll for that marshal when you've selected the squad?
Yep. Just as you select the squad, bear in mind what squad you're picking, because I guess this is one of the missions where that might be very important. You might get bonuses for what that squad is about.
Yeah. Okay, I might need
depending on
to
what you decide to do with the squad, obviously. But like siege works, probably not the Ember Wolves.
I don't know if any of them are actually designed for siege work.
there's one whose whole thing is, we survived a siege, we ate our own friends, we're tough as shit.
Who are they?
I is the Silver Stags, or
I think
it is one of
They
the
got killed.
There's only 3 members of the Silver Stags currently active. So
There we go then.
that is the issue. However, I was eyeing up the soldier in that team because they are very good for an assault type mission.
Well, obviously the final decision rests with you, Marshal.
Yeah. If I can move the men around.
Oh yeah, this is the one. Silver Stags. Formed less than 100 years ago, the Silver Stags have become the Legion's rear guard. The squad was commissioned after a handful of legionnaires held a town against a vastly superior force, surviving on rats and shoe leather. Their leader afterwards requested his own command. They are often sent on missions where the line absolutely cannot fall, or hard choices must be made.
Nice.
Sounds like the mission for them.
Do I have the 5? Is it the Germani or the
Sorry, the Aldermani. Yeah.
That are actually on the sheet yet, are they? They're not actually there.
Yeah. So and bear in mind, you can shuffle these things around. But it might become problematic if you move people from different squads to different squads. But
I'll put the Aldermani to fill out the Silver Stags and the Ember Wolves.
Right. Okay. So I'll put those in because I have a different.
I wasn't sure what the naming convention for they are.
Yeah, that's Germanic. Yeah.
Germanic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll,
So Silver Stags. Okay.
Because the Rakash Mana Burn is pretty cool for an assault mission.
Okay, let me duplicate that a couple of times.
So, for example, this guy, I made him for an assault mission. He has an ability called Over the Top. When you charge into the teeth of an enemy that outnumbers or outguns you, clear 1 stress and take 1+ to maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
But he also, because of his rookie ability, he also has a second ability now. When you push yourself, you may ignore all harm penalties and take 1 dice to resist the consequences. He's pretty good. He's pretty cool. He's fresh as well. He's not had any. He was a promoted rookie.
So there's a couple of Aldermani templates now in the Ember Wolves. The Silver Stags. And because they have their own heritage thing, which I couldn't figure out how to add to the heritage part itself, I put them in the special abilities marked as like Aldermani heritage. So like same rules, pick 2 of them when you create one and then move on.
Okay. Special abilities. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you put the rest into the Ember Wolves?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 in there.
Yeah, I haven't used the Ember Wolves in a while. They got shagged.
No, because there's only 1 left.
Yeah. I was sad when Pavel died.
Yeah, boy died.
The boy.
Yeah, so
I'm actually nervous to send men out on this mission because this sounds like one that we could have some big losses. So this could be a meat grinder.
Yeah, this is the type of thing we've wanted to avoid.
Yeah.
It's just stand up and fight type deal.
I could send the Kingfisher out, but then the Kingfisher might be better to lead what's left of the Legion afterwards. Because we still got to get to Skag Keep. Okay.
Okay. So you're sending the Silver Stags?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to have them help with the siege. So.
All right, and it's an assault mission. So, which specialists are
It
going?
is an assault mission. Thank you. Yep. Right. Okay. So I am going to send Grey Standing Cliff. Hannah can reprise the OG classic. John, you can take a stab at this new guy from the Silver Stags. He's Rakash Manabur. He's a thingy-majiggy. He's not an alright. Is he an alright? No, he's
It's just a kid.
just a kid. And
However, I'm pious and stoic with it.
You are. I'm gonna take Rain Deadeye to the field because I feel like some big boy guns are going to be needed for this one. But no one's really a siege specialist.
Well, if ever there was time for like range sharpshooting abilities, like when we're trying to pick off the grand daddy-o of the besieging fortress.
I'm going to try and take him down if I can. I'm going to put Grey Standing Cliff in charge this time. And I'll probably take the next mission, the next session's lead.
Well, obviously I can't be in charge. I'm just a kid.
You've got some sweet ass. You've seen some action, man. You have seen some action.
I've seen things, man.
Yeah.
You weren't there, man.
I feel like
corpses in the trees, man.
Yeah.
Right, we're equipment.
I envision Rakash as the kind of person who jumps out of like a trench and just dives straight into the action.
He's the one they make posters of
He's the
afterwards.
bold action kind of guy.
He's the one with the flag looking back as if to say, like, follow me, brethren.
It's when they pump me full of the super serum and I become Captain Barton.
Right, I'm going to be taking the normal load so that I can still travel faster.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I should get range sheet out, shouldn't I?
Shield or weapon? Fine shield, fine weapon.
I would suggest the shield.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to defend an area, aren't we? So.
Would you just for the kind of what the equipment we get ourselves and off the quartermaster, what intel can you get as commander? This could influence our decision a little bit.
Not a great deal. I do get to ask one question there.
How fucked are we?
Well, we already know what the highest threat we can expect is, because it's like Rotting Gale.
Yeah, Black Rotting
4.
Gale is 4, so we know that. So what's the weather like?
Yeah. The only thing I think of that's like really applicable is like, what would be a useful item to bring on this mission?
Guns, lots of guns.
Yeah, I think there's a whole bunch of different things. You might bring like bunches and bunches of black shot, obviously, to shoot people, or rather the undead. However, reliquaries, very useful, and wrecking kits, not to break the gate, but maybe to like get some other stuff to reinforce the gate if that becomes an issue. So that's the like top 3 that I can think of.
How are we looking for Dolan as well with black shot and reliquaries?
Right, black shot, not a problem.
Boom.
Reliquaries, I'm not sure. We've got 2 left, and I think we're going to need one at least. We're going to need to hold on to one if we get to Skydalga Keep.
That's entirely fair. We do obviously know that like Black Rotting Gale is like the daddy of corruption.
Yeah, it's literally oozing it into
it's literally
a
a big
there is that,
sack full of corruption.
Yeah, let's do it then.
Okay, so we've all got black shot and reliquaries. Right, so I'm going to take a musket for one of my utility loads.
Black shot.
So what is the penalty to having a heavy load? if you don't have anything, it just makes you slower.
Yeah, you're slower.
Yeah, it's fictional positioning like most things.
Okay.
So if you have heavy load, and let's say you're knocked off your feet, everyone else is getting away. You have a heavy load. You're trying to get up. You're gonna get ate by the zombies.
Okay, so since Rakash is probably mostly going to be firing, I'm going to take a heavy load unless anyone objects.
I ain't got a problem with it.
Because then I get an additional +1 utility, which means I can take some oil.
Right. Wrecking kit, probably a good plan, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have one.
Rain can't take one, but he is effectively a wrecking kit. If he can land a shot.
I see what you
remote.
did there.
Yeah.
Right. So how are we organising this, Johannes? Have we got some of us on the siege weapon and some of us on the ground? Or...
I'm happy to say that there is like a separate team, because you, depending on how you actually want to do it yourself, if you want to have control of the siege weapon, you can put one of you into operating that. However, I'm also happy to say that some, like the Legion, you don't control, might be firing it as per like pre-agreed stuff. So basically, like whatever your plan is, we're gonna go with that.
So, siege weapon wise, I want them to be comfortable, well, reasonably comfortable firing it before they use up the expensive super weapon. So I want them taking like half a dozen shots and then go for the big one. Or, give us cover until the big guy turns up.
Just to make you guys aware, by the way, because Rakash is extremely pious, I have a second reliquary.
Yeah,
marvellous. Yeah. On the ground, once we've got the pits dug, we need to be inside the gate until the big one's gone off.
Yep.
And then we need to be ready to get out there. Well, actually, yeah, we need to be hidden somewhere, don't we? So that we can get out, because we don't want to be opening that gate. That's just asking for trouble. Once we dug the pits, we need to...
Suggestion. If we have the people up on the battlement sort of firing down, while they're approaching, we've already dug the pits, they're approaching into the killing zone. If we have like people with like rope, they can sort of drop a rope and shimmy down the rope. Like zombies aren't going to be climbing up the ropes, are they?
Well, we just make sure that the people on the battlements know the ropes are there for that. And
yeah, so we drop ropes. The people who need to go down shimmy down, then the people on the battlements pull the ropes up.
Silver Stags, I hope you know that this isn't a mission that you're going to want to write to your mothers about. Although you might want to write something for your mothers before we go out there. Don't take too long, get your kit together. I'll meet you at the gate in.
You better start believing in siege stories, because you're in one. So the win condition is the enemy withdrawing. That is how
basically
we know.
like the assault at the gate stops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
It's going to be one hell of a clock, isn't it?
So basically, realistically, we need to take out like the commanders of the undead force, because then we can like, realistically say, well, if it's a load of just shambling zombies, the defenders can just mop them up if they've got no one directing them.
Yeah, sure. So I'm just going to go out and say that if you take down Black Rotting Gale, that's going to be it for them.
Yeah.
They will have others, because they're bringing out their elites. They will have others who can take over for Black Rotting Gale, but not to any great... It will dribble out.
Yeah,
that was the Marshal's thinking. It would cause enough chaos if he goes down.
Yeah, basically we're trying to kill Black Rotting Gale, which blunts their initial charge, and it buys the defenders enough time to mop up the rest of them.
Yeah. Okay. So
hopefully, if you get a good roll for digging the pits and everything, Marshall, and we funnel them into a kill zone, then we can just have everything we've got: siege weapons, black powder, firing, and fucking black rotting.
From the intel we've gone over, the last time we went over something this dangerous and we triumphed, it was Grey Standing Cliff and Rain that were there in the very first mission.
Marshall, give me a fortune roll with 2 dice. One for, because that's what the level of the Silver Stags is, but +1 because this is their thing.
Thank God.
Basically, like siege stuff.
Okay. Do I get what +1 from the black shot? Or is that already?
No, this is not that. This is the how you're doing the pits now.
Right,
then
2
we're
dice.
gonna roll for the engagement.
2 dice.
Yeah, because 2 dice for the pits. That's a shit. No, so what that means is, and we're gonna find out how that shakes out. Like the Silver Stag, I guess pioneers, right? They drop down with the shovels and they get in like 10 meters into the field when they realize that, oh shit, like there's already I guess they're going to be like being peppered by the lesser siege weaponry, and also they will notice that there's a whole bunch of crows running in front of the actual force, which no one picked on because the crows are very, very quick.
Yeah,
so they get
silent.
In there, like they strike the ground a couple of times with the shovels, and then, oh no, we can't stay here. Back up the ropes, and into the battlements they go.
I like the thorough line for this game so far is, I'm more dangerous than the enemy. My engagement rolls.
Are you a Cylon?
Yeah.
Look on the bright side, Marshall. You've not made your engagement roll yet.
Yeah. So basically, what we're going to be dealing with now is the enemy is already at the gate as we roll for this now, because we absolutely tanked.
Oh, if only your homeboy had taken some oil to like pour down on it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Be a shame if we were ready for a siege.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Fair play to you, Marshall. Obviously, that was a bit of a bad roll, but I was sort of expecting like this might go Pete Tong.
Yep.
It's not the greatest start.
No. Yep. But you didn't lose anyone. So
didn't lose anyone.
However, I will. There's a clock for this, so let me see. Putting it there. So you see the clock to the west, to the east of Fort Calisco, hopefully, and it's gonna start with 2 already filled in. So that is the if you can see the clock, that clock is the measure of how fully the assault has progressed. So if that is filled out, the grate is broken, no one can hold it, the undead are streaming through.
Oh goody.
So that's going to be our measure.
So do we have to get rid of all of the cheeses in it? Jesus. Do we have to get rid of all the bits of the clock?
Depending on how you want to approach that, we can start removing those ticks. Mm-hmm. If you take down Black Rotting Gale, the clock is null and void by default.
So we'll most likely get another clock for taking down Black Rotting Gale, and we need to get that filled before that one gets filled.
So basically, it's going to be, if you tackle Black Rotting Gale, you're going to be dealing with Black Rotting Gale clock, while the other one is living its own life on the side. Yeah, but for the engagement roll, we have, I believe, everyone's. Well, I guess this is the thing now, Marshall. You're in charge of the HR.
Yep.
Did you make the Aldermoney swear the Legion loyalty oath?
Yeah, a few. Yeah, I brought them on board.
There was all the pomp and circumstance regarding all that.
We can have a flashback where I get them to like we do, like we had them do like the kind of corruption cleansing thing with Zora. That's like the official now. You're in the Legion.
No, I'm going to make you swear an oath, but I've always seen it as more like guidelines.
Guidelines.
Now you need to kiss this godlike bean.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt like a motherfucker. Okay, so they're loyal to the Legion, and we don't have anything to spend.
I like to imagine like part of us about the loyalty is like, that's what happens when like Zora kisses you. Imagine what happens if she's annoyed with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like you break your oath.
You did see her basically screaming fire at a whole squad of rotters and then just like evaporating.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be watching, like seeing how we perform. Like she actually might be observing the Legion.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah. No,
test
she's
of our
not at the
metal.
gate. No. She's way back. Because right now, as far as she's concerned, while we're here, she's still sticking with you. But now there's like a whole fortress full of people that she's looking at. So if you guys fold, there's going to be other people that she's going to be looking at.
We will not fold. We will not.
Yeah. So you have a heavy and a sniper on board, so no minuses from that. We have quartermaster has broken out the black shot, so we take +1 die, so we're up to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone wounded on the mission?
No.
Okay. So that's it. 2 dice.
Come on, Matthew.
I believe in you, Barbosa.
Double 2s. Second time.
Here we go. Nope.
Oh, it's
all
a
right.
5.
All right.
I'm all right.
So
It's not a 6, but it's there.
Yeah. So we're starting with the risky position, and this is the moment when the ram touches the wall, basically. So the undead are at the gate. Their light siege machinery is in the distance, peppering the battlements and the gate and everyone on those.
Okay.
You guys are free to like position yourself however this plan of yours dictates.
So we've literally just come back up the wall because we've gone down to dig the pits.
Yeah.
Realised.
Oh
right.
shit. Yeah.
Can I have a flashback of as everybody else was going up those ropes, Grey standing cliff, making sure that the squad's getting up those ropes and getting safe, takes out the bottle of oil he's got and just spreads it as far as he can in front of the gates.
Yep.
Because there's, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't need to pay for anything. That's entirely within your means. So.
Right.
Yep. So there's oil on the
then
ground
he's
at the gate.
back up the ropes.
Yep.
Pull those ropes up.
Mm-hmm.
You, Archer, light that arrow, shoot that wet patch when they get to the gate.
Right. So and this is like we're getting into it now, but that's like it's kind of timey-wimey now because it's not full on yet. But you instruct the archer, and you can see them like 15 seconds later, like light the thing. There's no ram at the gate yet, but there's a couple of rotters there, like pulling on whatever they can get their hands on.
Hold
and
it.
The archer goes like, "Huh?
Hold it."
Oh, okay, yeah. And they're just like terrified out of their mind because they're looking at the distance, and there's siege towers there.
There's no reason to let them get to the gates if we don't have to. So we've been well supplied by the quartermaster. Let's not put it to waste.
So you can see the undead advancing. They're bringing with them a half dozen siege towers of various quality and make. Obviously, they've come to the forest, so they have all the lumber they needed to do that. So they have several towers that they're bringing in. They have a couple of sort of like those like housed battering rams with the sort of covering on top, and then in the distance they have like scorpion like ballistas and whatnot, which they fire arrows and spears at the gate and whatnot, but that's not the main thing right now. It's basically they're like, okay, we're engaged now, so we're obliged to rain some stuff on you. The main threat here being obviously the towers and then the battering rams, plus Black Rotting Gale itself, because from what you know, Black Rotting Gale might not think too much about a wooden gate. It might just go.
Can we see Black Rotting Gale at all yet?
Give me a fortune roll, just to see like if you can spot the thing on the field, or if you want to have an actual
dice?
Do we get any bonus dice because it's massive?
Yeah, and you have the leverage.
So cliff. I've got to have something for this. Scout
is good.
Yep, scout is good.
And we're risky.
Yeah, and you can have +1 for the your advantages of being on the battlements and whatnot.
Cool.
And Black Rotting Gale is basically like the idealized, like, godlike form, standing like a person and a half tall, that kind of thing.
5.
Okay, 5. So yeah, you've spotted Black Rotting Gale. However, I'm gonna say the consequence here, which I don't think like Grey Standing Cliff has a lot of ability to affect.
He throws a siege weapon at us.
You, yeah, just. No, the downside is Black Rotting Gale seems to be in one of these towers, or at least like in the back of one.
Grand. Siege weapons. Get practicing. Shoot at those towers.
We need to bring down that tower if we
Anything
can.
that's not the magic spear, I give you permission to fire at those towers. If it's not nailed down, fling it at them.
So they do that. So the ballista starts firing. There's so are you using the rest of the squad? Are the silver stags manning the thing, or
rest of the squad? I wasn't picturing having them on the thing, but if they've got the ability to man it, then let's do that. Cause
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Could I attempt to help the squad out a bit?
Yeah.
So, Rain wants to, using his alchemical eye. I want to see if I can spot any like structural weakness in the towers, like something like I don't know how well they are at making these things. Maybe a point of like.
Oh, but they brought us those special for target practice.
Because they have like big circles on them.
Yeah.
Take a couple of pot shots at the tower, but maybe try dealing with some of these like crows that are running at us because they get a bit gribbly after a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm presuming I'm just like taking pot shots with my normal ammo, then I'll switch to the black powder when it like, gets real.
Yeah, I'm using normal. I'm using pussy rounds for the moment.
Okay, so let's wrap all this into like this is what you guys can do before the actual ram is touching the walls. So I guess we could, because you're helping with the ballista, Rain, and Grey Standing Cliff is giving some instructions, and then
Oh, also the bolts that they're firing from the siege weapon, if you're okay with it, Commander, I've got oil, which isn't much use now because I'm on the battlements.
No, we want to keep the other oil supplies that we've got. I'm intending on throwing them later.
Okay, understood.
So I've got my flare gun.
Understood. Okay.
I'll start picking a few of the targets off.
Likewise.
If we want to, I think this would be a good time for a group action of some kind, led by one of you, to simulate the sort of group effort that we have previous to the actual like wall siege happening.
It doesn't make any difference between maneuver and shoot for me.
Yeah, it does. We get Rain to lead it though.
Oh, okay.
I can sort of coordinate so we're not all shooting at the exact same thing, so we're covering like a wider area and taking down a bunch of people.
So if we do a group action with like Rain leading us, then
okay.
I shall lead them.
And we're shooting, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so everyone roll shoot.
Is it risky still?
Risky, yes.
Okay, standard effect. Come on!
Oh, and a second mine hasn't rolled yet. 5.
Okay, so Rain takes 1 stress.
Okay.
And you succeed.
Woo-hoo.
So what that means is I've removed 1 tick.
Nice.
From the clock. As you rain down on these, you take pot shots at the crows because they sort of run the sort of skirmish screen, I guess.
What Wayne does is he uses the siege towers almost as like way markers. So he's like, right, you guys focus between those 2 towers, between these 2, and sort of like, so we're not all killing, shooting at the same targets all at once. Until
you're in a target-rich environment.
Yeah.
That is for sure. So by now, the actual wall siege is going to start, and you've spotted the full gamut of what the Blighter's armies consist of. These days, it is the Rotters, which are these very well equipped, like industrial quality armor, weapons, rotting corpses, which are the bulk. And then you have the crows. You have a couple of horrors here and there mixed in, which are the stitched together like corpse amalgamation monstrosities. Then you have these swollen corpses that you encountered on the island way back, which are just absolutely full of acid and bile and poison.
They're all bad news.
Yeah. And
anything
obviously,
anything that's new, anything we haven't seen before.
Yeah, there are, and it becomes apparent only when they get into close enough distance. There are several gaggles of what you think to be rotters at first. They're sort of kind of almost bound up like you might have in an old-timey, awful mental institution, in very sort of confined and tight
straitjacket.
Yeah, almost like straitjackets, except it's like metals and leather, and they sort of have they're very emaciated as like in their strapped up forms. However, the thing that, like, because you're like, oh well, that looks different, but still, like, I don't know. And then they get close enough, you see that they're just dribbling with presumably the same kind of thing that the bloated ones are filled with. And when they get close enough to the wall, each and every one of them just like starts like projectile vomiting streams of acid up at the wall, which that hasn't happened before. You saw Black Rotting Gale do something like that, but
that's new.
There's when the acid streams start coming up the wall, is when folks realize that this is new.
We should make that a priority.
Okay. Burn an arrow then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So burning arrow into
Sounds
oil.
like a mission. That.
Yep.
Boom.
So they're bringing in the first of their battering rams to the gate. So you put down the flaming arrow.
Mm-hmm.
The trembling yeoman is gonna fire it, and
I've also got some oil if anyone needs it.
yeah, I guess Grey Standing Cliff does have a plan for the extra oil afterwards. So yeah, the fire goes up, and we're gonna, because it's not an immediate destruction thing. So the gate ground is on fire now. However, they brought their first battering ram onto it. Mm-hmm. Some of them are carrying a fairly ramshackle, like barely ladders that they're putting up.
Okay, so now I have to ask a very important question.
Yep.
Does this wall have matriculations?
Yes.
Marvelous. Shoot those fuckers through the matriculations. That's what they're for.
Yeah. So we're at the gate, and well, I guess the battlements above, and the siege proper is starting now, and sort of unexpectedly, a lot of people are having to take cover. You're not the only ones here, by the way. The Commander Jonicus obviously has forces here all around, but you guys, being siege experts, have been told, like, yeah, you know this shit, so you're going to be at the gate, and we're going to back you up. So you have different segments of, there's like a whole bunch of like peasant levies with bows in the courtyard beyond the gate, just like psh, psh, like shooting over it. Yeah.
John. As Rakesh is like firing from the battlements, because I've got like a fine shield, I'm basically going to set that up and then be like popping from round over it, taking cover.
Yeah. So I think there's a time or two, Rakesh, when you only barely make it beyond your shield, when there's the like the wet spatter, and then the as the paint boils off the shield, and people are having to take cover. And there's a whole bunch of, there's like an entire regiment of archers that got caught off guard by these, what you've started calling spitters now, because that's literally what they do. They kind of got taken out just because they were going hard with the volleys, and there were a bunch of spitters that just melted them. So yeah, people are taking cover. It's not as easy because of the height advantage anymore, because they have ranged weapons as well, apparently. But you're putting in the plan now. So the ground is on fire. They're trying to pummel the gate. What do you guys do? Is there any like specific actions? Otherwise, let's go with the group actions.
So the other soldiers are dealing with the spitters at the sides. We've got the gate to worry about.
You've got the sort of like this segment is yours, and then they'll deal with theirs.
The world has got very small.
In which case, let's shoot these guys with the battering ram.
Understood.
Yep. So yeah, let's however you guys want to do it. Group actions is fine.
I don't know how this thing works, like when I'm supposed to use it. There's the thing that says reduce the threat level of all enemies you're facing by 1.
When you push us, so it's when you push yourself.
Right.
You can perform a feat of supernatural force. So when you push yourself, any of the enemies that you're facing are reduced by 1 threat level.
Right. Okay. So I just need to push myself on a roll.
Yeah, but that is also that's the Superman move. So
yeah.
If you're in face to face, then that's the thing. But if you're throwing arrows at them, then maybe not, because it's not really.
So if you're like wanting to leap down and like take out the battering like a superhero punch.
If you want to toss the dwarf and then jump in and clear the way for a Theoden King.
As long as I know what it. Yeah.
I can attempt to shoot it for you if you want me to take up the actual.
So how many guys are there running this battering ram right now?
You're not sure because there's the covering, but you estimate probably a dozen. So maybe like a squad of rotters.
They've gone on with the covering.
Yep.
They're over where my oil is.
Yep. They're being cooked from underneath.
That whole thing's going up.
Yep.
Can we see any of them?
Yeah, for sure. From between the burning covers. Yeah.
Right. Any that you can see, shoot them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do we want to do this as a group action or just individually?
Yes, I assume.
Group action is good in that it gives you scale as well.
Okay.
So to lead it then with his wickedy shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it couldn't be dead
so Rain.
For nothing.
Yeah, I can lead it if you wish. No problem.
Okay, so everyone get some shoot rolls on, and we'll see what happens.
Is it still risky, or are we in desperate?
Yeah, it is risky.
Risky, okay.
It's only 3 from me, I'm afraid.
Oh, Grey Standing Cliff, putting in the work.
Nice.
Okay, so again, Rain, 1 stress.
I'll take it.
But between the burning oil and the fire that you pour down, you manage to take down or make ineffective the first group of rotters which were carrying the first battering ram. So you put that to stop, and the cover is now just sadly burning on top of the bodies of these rotters. And as you've completed your work there, next up coming the first of the siege towers. So the gate as such
how's the siege weapon been going? Because while we were doing that,
let's have a fortune roll.
Taking some pot shots, trying to get a feel for.
Please do not make me roll a fortune roll.
1 dice.
Whoever wants to. Yeah, one die. Yeah, for the silver stags in this instance. Okay, 4.
Okay.
I think they're gonna have broken, because they were instructed to do so. They're gonna have broken the tower that Black Rotting Gale was in. So Black Rotting Gale is gonna take the field pronto. However, that has led to the fact that the other towers go unmolested. So you have at the moment, when we the next round basically of this whole thing, you have on the ground Black Rotting Gale, followed by a bunch of elites, some rotters, belting it towards the gate, and there's on the side there's another tower coming in.
Siege tower, basically a big tall box. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it on wheels, or are they just lifting and carrying it?
I think it would be. I was gonna say like they're carrying it because that's brutal, but the blighter is sophisticated, so she knows how to make wheels.
Right.
So it's wheels.
What materials it made from?
The tower itself is. I'm gonna roll for this, just to see like how much effort did they put in. Where is my? Where is the broken? Oh, here we go. Okay. Roll fortune. And just because she has modern warfare capabilities, I'm going to roll 2. Otherwise, I would have been rolling 1.
Makes sense.
Oh, so it's made mostly of wood. I think the wheels are the ones where they put metal in so that the wheels don't break. So the wheels are reinforced. However, the tower itself wood.
Right, so I'm thinking I take a bottle of oil or 2 off one of you guys.
I think we have 2 in total now.
There's 3 uses on each one.
I'm not sure what it looks like on the sheet.
Yeah,
so yeah,
mine's 3
uses on the sheet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 6 uses.
6 uses remaining, yeah, because I used 3 on the gate.
Yep.
So now, are they coming up right behind where the battering ram was, or are they coming right?
Yeah, there. Yep.
Okay, so I'm intending to jump from above the gate onto the top of there.
Nice.
Drop a couple of bottles of oil. Take one of the flares from my flare gun. Rip the top off. Drop it in and jump back.
Jeez.
And that sounds like a push myself to do it kind of a thing.
War machine.
That may do the trick for that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is your justification for why you can do that.
Can it be a skirmishy thing?
It can definitely be. Yeah. So
Marvelous.
that also kind of means like if we're going for a skirmish, you can't skirmish alone. I don't feel like so.
Can I assist like by covering fire?
I was going to say, meanwhile, we've got our own siege weapon.
Yeah.
That's going to be firing like at the top third of the tower.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to be shooting at the front, at the back wheels only, please. On each side.
Just a suggestion, do you want any of us to fire at Black Rotting Gale? Because that's what we need to take down.
Well, yeah, it is, but we need to worry about this siege tower. If we can get rid of this...
Just making a suggestion, Captain.
Yeah, if we can get rid of this, it's out of the way and everything can concentrate on him then.
Understood. I'll put my powder in.
Okay, so yeah, to answer your question, Rain, you can definitely do a setup action. So roll your thing and then pick whether Grey Standing Cliff gets a better position or more effect.
Right, okay. I'm going to go with shoot, naturally. Because this is his bag. Shoot. Okay. Okay, that's not the worst.
Okay.
Do I take stress?
The consequence is going to be that you can provide covering fire. However, that does take your attention away from some other stuff, and I'm gonna be putting down 2 ticks on the assault clock there.
I may be a cold, uncompromising sniper. Gray's a comrade. And I'm gonna say, yeah.
Okay, so you provide cover. So is it more increased position or more effect level?
What would Grey Standing Cliff personally appreciate in this situation? A better position to get in and out, or more chance of it actually going boom?
More effect's probably better.
More effect, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So I think
for...
the whole thing sounds desperate. So
yes, it does.
it's going to be desperate position. However, the effect is going to be great. So if you pull this thing off, you're gonna just to make sure you're doing this with the tower, right? The incoming tower. So if you get it off, I'm going to say you light the whole thing on fire. Now, it's going to not kill everyone instantly, as fire doesn't, but it's going to make a mess of the tower, and increasingly so with the inhabitants as well.
Can I also drop the shield so that I'm effectively light load? Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter because I'm Panya.
Yeah, because you're
keep hold of the shield.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, skirmish.
Yeah. So because we're going with
Maybe
desperate.
this is where you're meant to be. This is like a standing cliff.
Kind of is.
I see what you
Great
did there.
effect. Submit. Oh, and I was going to
push yourself.
push myself. Yeah.
4.
4. Yeah, you do it. So up in flames it goes. You go in there with. I like to imagine just like 2 open bottles of oil, just like spinning around, spreading it. Okay, so you light the whole tower on fire very successfully with your flare and your oils.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a
Now,
big
meanwhile,
Yep.
the rookie and the rest of the squad were shooting at the back wheels because I want it to
Yep.
fall that way.
Yep.
I'm not rookie.
So-
I'm a soldier.
All right, the soldier and the rest of the squad.
I know a bit
So,
young, but
let's go with the fortune roll again. Like if you succeed on the fortune roll, the rest of the squad will have taken off the
Go on,
wheels, and
Jen,
the
you
tower
do
is
the fortune roll.
basically nulled because
Yeah.
it can move and it will roast the inhabitants unalive. I don't.
5.
Yeah, so that happens. So the tower is both on fire and immobile. So the rotters inside. melt.
Okay, now I think, eager to demonstrate my Barton courage and spurred on by the great standing cliffs expert, I'm going to sort of like whispering a prayer to like the Barton gods. I'm going to like kiss the reliquary hanging around my neck. Then I'm going to try and throw one of my oil canisters at the other tower, and as it lands, I'm going to try and like shoot it to ignite it.
Okay. All right.
So let me just cross off one of my oil.
Nice.
Did that wrong.
Nice.
And I'll go for the shoot.
So that leaves us with 3 oil.
I've got one. I've got a whole.
You've got 1. You've got 2. Great.
That's a 6.
I've got like 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So just to go
That's
back a
sweet
little
XP.
bit, the thing with Grey Standing Cliff there is, I think there's a bit because we rolled skirmish. There's a bit where you have to duel a crow on like the side of a tower, the tower that you're sitting on fire. So yeah, it's like that will have passed entirely, but the consequence there, due to it being desperate and you rolling 4 as your highest, the consequence is going to be the crow tags you for 2 damage and 2 corruption.
Okay, plus 2 dice to resist corruption, and I have a reliquary. So how does this work?
So-
Always do this.
Yeah,
This is
you
the-
set
this is the
you
question.
you burn off as much as you want from the reliquary,
So
and
2
then
corruption,
you
yeah?
Yes,
you
just burn
resist the
2.
rest. Yeah.
So you're good for corruption,
Cool.
and it's just resisting the actual damage.
Okay.
John does have a spare one if it comes to it.
Which is a prowess resist, yeah.
That's because I'm a pious mofo.
That's right.
Oh no, sorry, that's a different guy who gets that. Wait, no, yeah, I do get 2 dice. Oh. Yeah, I still get 2 more dice on top of that, sorry.
For prowess as well.
Because it's a resist roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know
Right.
what the thing says,
So
so that's why I'm
It's the
asking.
Panya thing, I think.
It's a Panyar thing, 2d to resist corruption,
And you've
yeah?
already cancelled the corruption. This is for
Yeah, so
damage,
this
you
is
don't get
just the physical thing, but still,
Yeah.
it's
that.
1
You've
stress
done it anyway.
Right, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
I
so-
do
so one
apologise
stress
for the prowess.
for that,
1 stress. Well,
and then you're done. So yeah, there was a point where you're putting in the oil and the flares, and a crow just like silently jumps up on the on the outside, and you have this like almost like a slap fight because it has like scalpel fingers and it's going for your face and just like okay. Good. So where were we? You're shooting at another tower, Prakash?
Yeah, I got 6 on that roll.
Yeah,
First,
so
throw the oil and
you
shoot
yeah,
the
you
sapphire.
you
Yeah,
light that on fire.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
am
we
blessed
have,
by the Barton. gods!
I thought there were just 2 siege towers. How many siege towers are there?
There's more. So I was presuming that Rakash is shooting at the next one coming up, because the idea here is going to be they have a lot of stuff. They have more in tow. So basically, the situation as it is currently, just to get us up on the same page, the tower that was an immediate threat is now burning and immobile, and all the rotters inside are turning into a very hot slurry of corruption. And that is a non-issue right now. We have different varieties of ladders being put up and pushed down, and being the ladder pushers being shot. We have another tower on the other side now lit on fire by Rakash, which isn't at the wall yet, but it's burning already. And there's the destroyed remnants of the first battering ram squad, which are now being, well, I guess they're there now. So at the gate, we now have like a small army unit of rotters, like a couple of dozen rotters. We have a bunch of these swollen gut sack creatures. We have spitters. Basically, the whole gamut of like all the different types are there because they followed Black Rotting Gale there. So Black Rotting Gale is at the gate with infantry and elites, and they're about to start maybe using the battering ram.
Sorry,
maybe they're trying to melt the gate.
Still a fair way back.
Well, this is the sort of
Yeah.
timey-wimey shit now.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
So,
Black Rotting Gale.
yeah,
Yep.
it's time to go after him. Siege tower, ready.
Prepare the black arrow.
Okay, so I guess this is it then. We're loading the reverently, and also because we don't know what it does, so we're gonna be careful. So we load the black bolt, and then we roll a really bad fortune roll. So who wants to make the 1-die black bolt roll for the Silver Stag squad?
Yeah, I suppose it's got to be me, really.
Don't make me do it.
Where's the crown?
Have I got anything I can boost it with? Can I push myself? I guess not.
Because it's not you, unless you're firing it, then no.
We should get Rain to fire it.
I could fire it. I could be the one that takes,
so Rain,
really
you
a tank.
need to do the shooty bit.
I can tank this properly.
I am going to stand as an anchor and use my special armor, whatever thing.
Yeah, for consequences. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's got to be you.
Would you like me to assist Rain with this? Not spotting out his target and whatever.
In fact, yeah, we're doing concentrated fire here,
Like
effectively across the group, even though one of us is using the siege weapon. So let's do the group roll again.
Well, no. I would suggest that you do, because I feel like if we fold in the black bolt into regular ass shots, I feel like that cheapens the whole thing.
The deal. Yeah.
So I think we I would suggest, obviously you're free to do as you will, but my suggestion would be let's do a setup action with you guys, like covering doing the other thing. Yeah. So you guys roll for the setup thing, however you wish to do that. I presume shooting, because it's kind of the thing here.
Can I actually roll the anchor? Because I'm leading the group.
That's for very,
I know it
very
determines
specific.
how you get those points, but
it's only rolled for very specific things, and I think it's going to be when you're defending a squad, like physically.
It's a 5 from your boy Rakash.
Okay. I guess this is like a... Oh, okay.
Greystone and Cliff didn't do well.
Yeah. So, Rakash, better position or more effect for Rain and the Black Bolt?
More effect.
Okay. So, it's going to hurt if you tag it.
Is this
however,
a desperate action?
Please hold. We have...
Okay.
we have some shit to deal with. So... we have okay, yeah, so I see Rakashi rolled with desperate. It's going to be risky. No worries there, though. I'm just going to say the point there is they pick you out as being the ones shooting down now.
Makes sense.
And they have spitters. So spitters are interesting in that one spitter is like produces enough of an acid stream to hit an entire squad at once. So I think that's the consequence here. You're firing and you're yelling to Rain to take the shot, and you're providing a distraction, and distract them you do, and you get the acid stream. However, yeah, we do have great standing, Cliff.
I have got a massive shield. Yeah, it's fine. I know that's important.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And then I can do this bulwark thing that I still don't really understand.
Right. Okay. You can spend your anchor uses.
Yeah.
So let's say I took 2 harm and I was in the squad. You could cross them out. Like, no, you don't take 2 harm.
So I have to wait and see how much harm's done and then spend it. Okay. You're on mute.
You're muted.
A spitter is threat 2. And you with the fine shield, threat 2 as well. So we're looking at both of you taking 2 damage and 2 corruption.
So if I spend 2 anchor points,
you could negate what's your first? Rakash's damage.
Okay.
You're still looking at the 2 coming at yourself as well, though.
So you could use the shield to sort of tank that.
So what am I rolling? So I'm
completely. What I'd suggest is if you click on that to cross out your 2 anchor uses, that's my harm nullified. Then, what armor have you got?
I've got a fine shield.
So fine shield, and fine armor. Okay, scroll back up again. So tick that, and that. So yeah, tick that, tick that. Now cross off 2 of them, and that'll negate your harm.
Fine.
I just looked to see if I had any shields. Nope.
Okay, so neither of us have taken any harm. So it's 2 corruption to each.
2 corruption each. Yep.
So I'm going to take 2 of them on one of my relinquishes.
Okay.
Yes. Hold the line.
I only have 1 point of reliquary left.
So you take 1 corruption then, unless you roll to resist.
And then I get to roll to resist.
Yeah, with the extra 2.
With the prowess, because it was a shoot roll.
No, this is resolve. If you're resisting corruption, it's resolve.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Not gonna lie, Rain's not very good with the resolve.
Not a social butterfly.
Not a sociable in the slightest.
Okay, so 2 stress as you shrug off the acid spit.
Okay.
Oh.
Grey Standing Cliff is not looking good.
So you're hunkered down, presumably, with Grey Standing Cliff, like holding up the shield against the stream of horrifyingly hissing acid that you can just imagine melting your own faces were it not for the shield. And the stone of the battlements is just slightly bubbling where the rain falls. Okay, so that spit ate through a lot of your armor right there. So that was a bad time. However, you're doing good still as far as being alive goes.
For the black bolt.
Nope.
No, it's coming up next.
My time is now.
Yeah, now it's the setup action.
Cometh the man.
Setup action is good. We have 1 more effect level. Now we need to talk about this. So, Rain.
Yep.
I guess, yeah. So you're threat 1 because you're a human being, and I'm gonna say because it's almost not only a human, you're a Zemyati. You're using a siege weapon, which by definition is beyond fine in the categories of assets. So we're gonna say you're using a fine device here. So threat 2 as far as that goes.
Yep.
Now this is desperate because you're trying to shoot a single, more or less a person-sized object, because and it wouldn't be otherwise, except for the fact that Black Rotting Gale is smaller than your average horror because it's designed for a different thing. The average horror is designed to be like, let's put 50 bodies together and make a tower of flesh. This guy is more like, let's make a super human being and infuse it with technology. So it's not as big as the regular horrors. And let's see. So that leaves us at, with you having potency because of your black bolt.
Yep.
Your, let's see. So Black Rotting Gale, threat 4. You're threat 2. You're doing jack shit on your. If you fire this without the black arrow, you're not doing nothing to Black Rotting Gale. So with the black arrow, you're at threat 3. You're getting there. You're doing less effect to him, or it rather. And with the setup action here, you're at effective threat 4. So you're on even ground with Black Rotting Gale.
You know where this is going, Johannes.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm about
That
to
was
say.
ever a time to push yourself, Ren.
No, I don't have to. I don't have to.
There's
the war machine thing that I did earlier reduced his threat level.
That would be
if when you're attacking it.
Yeah.
All right,
so if you're in fisticuffs with the Black Rotting Gale, then
Which I don't recommend.
Okay.
I was going to say, having tried it, I do not recommend.
Yeah.
So you're on basically even threat level with what you have and what they have, and if you want, there's devil's bargains. You can push yourself. We can make a deal, Matthew.
I think, unless you say otherwise, I believe I can use my aim ability in my aim.
Are you shooting a ranged weapon?
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
There we go.
So I don't have to take anything to do that. I just do it if I want. So that's makes me threat level 5.
Mm-hmm. You're looking at in that you're looking at dealing great effect on the Black Rotting Gale. And if you want to use more, we're going to go off the charts here, but I'm just going to calculate it with the same sort of algorithm. So currently you're looking at dealing 3 segments, and I'm going to put the clock on the table there as well. So that's Black Rotting Gale. So you're looking at doing 3 segments if you hit.
How many segments does he have in total?
A lot.
Does he have...
Yes. Segments.
Yes. Okay. What is a devil's bargain in this situation? Give me the temptation.
I guess the immediate thing would be because your alchemist isn't actually a trained alchemist. Vermilion isn't like your classical alchemist at all. Sort of like an improvised, self-taught thing.
He's a field.
It's gonna blow up in your face as well.
Oh.
So it's gonna tag you as well for let's say 2 damage to corruption when the bolt goes off. But the weapon is still gonna be there. Like nothing else will change. It's just
regardless
that you're
if I hit or not.
Yeah, basically when you fire it, it's gonna burst, and then you're gonna get the backdraft of that.
Okay. I will decline the devil's bargain at this particular juncture.
Okay.
Instead.
Okay, Your Honor.
Yeah, instead, I'm going to push myself and increase the effect if I could damage him more.
Okay. So we're looking at doing 4 segments now.
And just hope that the 3 dice I roll is enough to get target.
You're sorry, let me get this, because I just remembered that there's this additional math in this game which doesn't exist in the other game that we played. So you were even, and then you use your aim. You're going to 5. You're doing great. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I got it. So, yeah, because I was mixing it up with a very specific part of this equation. Okay, so yeah, I'm good. So you're dealing 3 to Black Rotting Gale.
Right.
You put the stress in. You're doing 4. I know. So with the aim, you're doing 4. With the stress, you're doing 5.
5 segments.
Yeah, I believe I got the math now. Yeah, so 5 segments if you hit the thing at all.
That's worth the shot. Like
this would destroy any person.
Anything that's not as messed up as this.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm rolling 3 dice because I've used it all in effect. Is it desperate?
Yeah, because you're looking to shoot at the person at the
Right,
distance with
okay.
a fairly ungainly weapon, which is not
Standard
meant for
effects.
shooting at people.
Great. I'm going to set it as great, but we know it's a little higher.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
6? You do it?
Yeah.
So-
I just saw the 1 and the 2, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me-
boy.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Got you in my sights, you bastard.
So that's almost half his clock cleaned. So you fire the thing, it flies, and I think it's one of those, because we had the 1 and the 2. It's one of those where it goes with the camera follows it, and it's the most improbable shit you've seen. There's like a couple of times where there's an archer on the battlements, like fighting a rotter, and they're just like going back and forth, and it's just like barely flies between the two of them. And then like between like the crenellations in the battlements, just swooshes in there, and it hits Black Rotting Gale like squarely in. Of course, you shoot in the biggest portion of it. So center mass, the black bolt rather, like just sinks in all the way. So the sort of back portion of it is like sticking to its breast now, and there's just this I'd say like an arm's length of coruscating green fire. It's like pouring out of his chest and also the back where the bolt exited. So it's like being impaled by this bolt from now on. So that's Black Rotting Gale now. It's not doing so great.
It's not doing so great.
If we survive this rain, you're going to be a Legion legend.
And yeah.
Yeah. So that.
Don't call me Deadeye for nothing.
Yeah.
Kid.
So you got your money's worth out of that bolt.
So I've got the eye,
right there.
and you're dead.
So
Okay. So the enemy is definitely at the gate, and
anyone who's got black powder, pump it into that thing now.
Understood, Captain.
That sounds like a group action to me. Like if everyone's manning the guns and shooting the black shots, you can do it individually, of course, as well. But like however you want to do that.
I'm just gonna have lay down with a cigarette. That's just that's one hell of a shot.
If you want me to lead the group action.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll lead the group action then.
All right.
Anyone but me, I'm rubbish at shooting.
Well, if you're joining in, you still have to make a shoot roll.
It's alright then. Oh no, that's the previous.
Right, if we're doing a shoot roll, I will. Is it still desperate? Oh, is it just?
No, this is not desperate anymore.
Okay.
It's only a 3 from me anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
So who was leading that? Rakash?
Me. Or the Grey Standing Cliff got a 6. So.
Yeah. Two stress.
That's fine.
Because Rain is all exhausted from the incredible shot and just bombed that roll. Okay, so we got a 6 though, so we're gonna hit. So,
it's all black.
how's your musket?
I told the Kingfish I'd get it good.
Regular musket.
Let me just have a look.
It probably is a regular musket on a soldier.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have black shot. Let's see what this does. Shit. So 4 threats, 1 threat, potency, 2. Okay, so we can do a bit of retcon here, of course, because this is something very important here. So Black Rotting Gale, threat 4, you, threat 2 with the black shot.
Yep.
And that means you do nothing to him with the damage. Like you hit, doesn't care about it. It negates the damage with the 2 threat that it has on you entirely. Now, timey-wimeying back, do you want to take Devil's Bargains? You can push yourself to do all that. Yeah, Devil's Bargain. I think, again, it's going to be because you've been spotted already by the spitters, it's going to be more spit coming your way. So,
would this just be for me or for everyone involved?
I guess not for Rain, but for you and Grayston, because Rain was off to the side with the ballista, I guess. So that would be, I'd say, two corruption each from the spit coming your way.
Is there not any way we can further boost the roll?
Well, what I'm thinking at the minute is I'm going to push myself, take the devil's bargain, which will hopefully get us on an even keel, if I'm reading it correctly.
It's going to put you as you're doing something level, but it's not even yet.
Okay.
But obviously, if I take that, we're going to take some corruption.
Yeah, 2 corruption each.
We're going for it.
Okay, so I'm going to add a tick to Black Rotting Gale there. And now Black Rotting Gale is at half, and the 2 of you, 2 corruption each.
Okay.
So we need something else big.
Okay, so one of my relinqueries gone, and I'll take for 1 point, and I'll take the other point on my other relinquery.
Yep.
Hashtag
just rolling up.
gods.
Yeah, you're just like double fisting the regular reliquaries.
Gone.
Got like the Van Helsing with like the tattoos. It's just a big B.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just remember, corruption is a problem we can deal with over time. So.
Yeah, corruption is like it's a almost like a permanent problem, but it takes a while to take you out. So you gain blights. However, that's not the end of the world at all. It just means that you become slightly undead.
We've done so well.
We've got Zora who can like kiss that corruption away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just in case anyone's close to like filling up their stress track, there's always been a lot of like.
Yeah. So Grey Standing Cliff resists the corruption quite admirably there, even without the 2 extra dice added in there. But so that was it for that particular piece. You've made a massive opening salvo to Black Rotting Gale, who now is going to try and get through the gate.
1 segment a turn. It's going to take us a while.
I can do a bit more to him.
Let's see what happens at the gate. So this is Black Rotting Gale and the accompanying forces that it is with, trying to get at the gate. Okay. So what that means is I'm gonna add his.
I think you should take a 1.
Nah. So what that means is I put his threat into the clock. So what happens there is there's a bunch of the rotters like putting access to the gate or whatever, but it's Black Rotting Gale doing the most of the thing. So it like hobbles up to the gate, severely wounded now, and being sort of inhibited by the fact that it's impaled by this giant ball. However, its mere presence and the fact that it's basically screaming this mist at the door, or the gates rather, the gates just start crumbling. The wood warps and is decaying in real time.
If that fills up 2 more segments, it's game over for us.
It is going to be bad times, but it's not game over yet.
It's not mission
Deadeye. You still got those 2 bottles of oil.
Certainly have.
Would this help, Captain? And I hold up like a wrecking kit.
There's alchemicals in there if you want to.
Because I'm no good with it. I just bought it because like siege, but I'm no good.
Make a dirty bomb.
Okay. Yeah. Could we effectively have a flashback here?
Yes.
And the remaining equipment that we've got, say that we've actually already put it together into, say, I don't know, a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a big string coming out of it.
God said, do not push unless desperate.
Deadeye, it's time to break out the barrel of mead.
Okay.
Okay, who wants to? This is entirely possible. However, I'm going to say it's going to have taken you, because you need to have done it sort of on the go.
Now, here's the thing. I've got 1 stress remaining.
Yeah, so I was going to say...
I'm quite happy for this to be the moment where Grey Standing Cliff goes, Deadeye, it's time to break out the mead.
Rosebud.
So I was going to say 1 stress for having constructed this thing.
That's enough to kill him.
Do you want me to take the stress?
Yeah, anyone can do it.
Well, you.
Yeah, but I'll take 1 trauma. I've got another 1 left.
Oh, right, okay.
He's fresh.
Boom,
essentially.
done.
Okay, yeah.
So Rakash has constructed this incredible
They don't call me
mead
Reckless
barrel.
Rakosh for nothing.
Yeah. A little bit of that R&R, as they
right.
say. So yeah, you've got this mishmash barrel with the rest of your kit inside, I guess, primed to go. Yeah. So
I think
what do you
just
do,
have
guys?
like a plank and just like drop, light the fuse, roll
slide
it
it
down the
off.
plank onto Black
I
Rotting Gale.
think.
Yes.
Oh no! Again, that'd kill.
Although,
Very
who's
sad,
actually
but-
got a good rec score?
I've got a rec score. Anyone else?
That probably is the best we
It's
have.
me
right
then,
now.
isn't it?
You could use maneuver, couldn't you, to like get the?
I've got the same stat in that. Do I get
this is-
any bonus for the wrecking kit?
I think that's the thing that allows you to do this. Like that's the justification for
fair
this because
play.
you have the alchemicals in there. So
Okay, so yeah.
yeah, if you want to
Um.
devil's bargain, that's stress free. So.
Go on.
Spit again. It's the one thing that's everywhere where you are right now. So
More corruption.
yeah, 2 corruption.
We can take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right.
So yeah, I'm picking up this barrel of mead. I'm
Yep.
looking over at him. Drop.
Fire in the hole.
Take it.
Taking out the
Okay.
flare gun. And
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a wrecking kit. You put a fuse on it.
oh
If-
yeah.
Yep.
Save,
And
the,
if you-
save the flare, yo.
So if however many you have in rec, plus 2 from the devil's bargain. I presume that's what you wanted.
Yep.
The extra dice. So yeah, whatever dice you're rolling, plus 1 from the devil's bargain there.
3.
Don't blow up the gate. Don't blow up the gate.
I mean,
Are we're desperate now, aren't we?
we're danger close.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
Too nice.
Get 2.
Sorry, 3 altogether.
Yeah, 2 bonus die.
Oh, yes, of course.
You do it.
6.
Ooh.
Yeah. And desperate is correct. I forgot to talk about that. Yeah,
Okay,
desperate
right,
is
so-
correct. So let's see. You're
You clear your stress on desperate. Is that
what?
resist?
No, it criticals is where you clear
Right.
stress.
Okay.
I maybe.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
with the with the resistance rolls. Yeah, that's where you clear stress with the criticals. Okay, so you do it again. Threat 4. We're gonna take you into account a bunch of things here. So you have some fine materials in there, so we're gonna go up by default because the stuff you're doing this with is good, and Black Rotting Gale is standing in a fire. Because we lit the ground on fire previously.
And
as
to be
well.
fair, if necessary, I'll cross off one of my uses of black shot. We can have some black shot in there.
I get, yeah, that would help. That would put you up 1
Done.
immediately. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's 2 because there's a whole bunch of things that I'm considering in here as well, and you did put in a lot of good stuff. So I filled in 2 more ticks as the Black Rotting Gale is basically immobile, which makes it very easy to hit it now because it's standing in front of the gate, radiating corruption and like screaming hoarsely at the gate, which like billows out this mist from its mouth, and which is corroding the iron and the wood.
Right.
Am I able to take a shot now as well with my own gun?
Will Grace? Sorry, Rakash. You had a
Okay,
thing?
I'm quickly going to ask the opinion of the captain. I can get 2 things I can do here. Either I can take a shot at Black Rotting Gale, but I'm probably not going to do a great deal of damage to it. My other thought was I could get below and try and marshal the defenders to like push some stuff to like reinforce the gate, hopefully to get the clock for the assault down a little bit.
Right. You take the shot. I'll get below.
Okay, you've just pushed the bomb, so you won't get to do that this
All
turn.
right.
will you?
Okay.
Whereas I'm thinking if I can get down below and like push back that clock, it'll buy us a bit more time to fill it full of that sweet black powder.
I'm gonna take out my Zimiati dagger and hand it to you for luck. You've proven yourself.
I sort of like take it. I just hold it up and give you a nod. Then my plan is, I'm basically going to jump down from like the battlements on our side. I'm going to start the defenders who are sort of like about. I'm going to start getting them to put like furniture, whatever they can get their hands on, old carts, whatever, to like brace the gate.
Yeah, fill it in.
Yeah, and I'm basically just trying to like clear some of those segments on the side gate assault clock to buy some time.
I feel I should point out, John, that technically sounds like you're charging into an enemy that outguns you.
No, because I'm not charging in. I'm just jumping down and reinforcing the gate.
Yep. Yeah, if
that
the
goes
enemy...
Pete Tong and I come out with my rifle, then that'll be when
I guess like one of the conditions here is if you fail at this, one of the things is they break down the gate, like they fill in the clock, and it's bad time in Gate Town. But you have the peasant levies with their dinky ass bows, having shot volleys over the battlements. You can marshal those to help you in this effort.
Like,
so
you man, grab that car, grab those barrels, and we'll just we were
Get
trying
them
to
in.
wedge the gate and reinforce.
This is finally one of the characters who has martial. Finally, someone actually has it.
Yeah, not even the marshal has marshal.
6.
Yeah, so you do it, and standard effect is good. So we're gonna flip flop. We're
XP in that box then.
Yeah. No, again, because we didn't talk about it. If you want, we can do Devil's Bargain here, and I only mention it because if Black Rotting Gale succeeds, it's gonna fill out the clock because he's
what is the Devil's Bargain?
Devil's Bargain is gonna be. We have someone on your tail, as established previously. Yeah. They previously failed to get into the Legion. I'm going to say they get into the Legion.
If I'm correct, and I apologise for just clarifying for me,
if
I take the Devil's Bargain, I can still roll to resist that consequence, can't I?
Yes.
Okay, So I'll take the Devil's Bargain for the increased potency to get more clocks.
Yeah, so basically what that means is you get one more, which puts Black Rotting Gale one away from being able to just mash it next time. So.
Okay, so what do I need to roll?
That would be... I guess let's go with resolve. Okay. Because it's kind of a social thing, I guess.
And since I pushed myself, I get a bonus dice to resist.
Yeah, because you've got the whatever stoic or stubborn or whatever.
Boy. Yeah. 5.
So 1 stress.
It's got a katana.
Okay. So you successfully avoid being infiltrated in the sort of ongoing action of this by not being fooled by whoever's trying to Grima Wormtongue your asses.
They're hanging around somewhere.
Yeah, they're here. They know where you are. It's just a matter of like when they have the opportunity to.
I'm going to suggest, Captain, that I stay down here and keep marshalling the defenders to try and keep this clock down, and you just pour it in.
So.
Shall I take my shot?
I guess go for your thing.
Okay, so I'm using Black Shot.
I imagine this is the point where, like, as you're firing, someone's like,
that
man up there's about to fire, and I'm like, that's no man, that's the legend that is Rain Deadeye.
I've got hold
your tongue, defender.
I've got a fine long rifle, and I've got Black Shot. Does that even me out, or am I still...
No, that puts you at 3, and that puts him at 4. So you're doing less. You're doing 1 segment to him right now.
I will use one of my aim then. I use my second aim.
You're doing 2 if you hit.
Okay. What is a Devil's Bargain in this case?
I guess I took a liking to the idea a long time ago, and it's not been happening. I'm going to say it's the same. In the aftermath of this, due to whatever negligence on your part, someone that should not get into the Legion will do so.
You still roll to resist, Matthew. It's all good.
I think Matthew might be looking at the stress track and being.
I think I'm looking at my resolve and being like, I can't resist that very well. Yeah, my stress track isn't doing so good.
Sorry, I've just realised I should apologise. I shouldn't have had an extra dice. I've just noticed it's only prowess resist.
Well, still,
I'd have still got 5 and 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've only just realised.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just gonna do the 2 damage to him. I'm just gonna take.
Oh, you're
You
gonna
hope.
try, is what you're
I'm
gonna
gonna try. I'm gonna try because I want to be able to resist the consequences of failing this roll as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true as well.
I'm gonna just.
No, sorry. Yeah, that's the thing with the devil's bargains. Those happen anyway. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I entirely forgot about that.
Yeah.
So if we want to redo that, Rakash,
Yes.
we can. So basically, the devil's bargain is the thing you cannot resist. It's the price of
Yeah.
the
Oh
hit.
right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
what would I have taken?
but then again, you rolled. So basically, let's just go forward with what we have because nothing happened. You can erase the one stress that you got from that, and we'll just move on from there.
Are we still desperate?
So sorry, on my behalf there. So the devil's bargains you cannot remove. That's the idea of them. So
Yeah.
so that's the devil's bargain, right? Rain, and then we're risky.
So I get
for you.
I get a new devil's bargain in that case, right?
No, well, it's the same. It's the I've offered you the devil's bargain of the Legion is going to be infiltrated by someone.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just take the shot and hope I get the 2 damage on him. And it's risky.
This is risky, yeah, because it's not directly. You're not in the shit, as they say. You do it.
Yeah.
And with a 6 as well.
Yeah.
We've been rolling a lot of 6s this time, so.
I'm not complaining.
Black Rotting Gale is not looking good.
2 more segments.
Yep, 2 more.
2 more. However, now it's Black Rotting Gale, and I think, given that you've put in a couple of great shots, and it's not like the mist is going anywhere, because Black Rotting Gale has deliberately spewed it on the gate. The gate will continue to dissolve. However, it's not going to be as quick as if he was actively there. Black Rotting Gale is going to basically grab onto the gate, and using their prodigious strength, they're going to just climb up the wall. Black Rotting Gale climbs up from the gate to the battlements to do battle with Rain Deadeye, following the last extremely painful shot that shouldn't be possible to make on him.
He's like, how did he find that itch that really annoys me?
Yeah, so yeah, it's Black Rotting Gale, drawn by Rain's incredibly damaging shots, is going to come up and
well, I think
put the hurt on.
Grey Standing Cliff needs to be standing in between those 2 things.
I was going to say, before Black Rotting Gale, do we get a chance to roll for like the other legionaries, like shooting? Because they're not manning the siege thing anymore, are they? And like everyone's equipped with black shots, so presumably they'd be shooting at Black Rotting Gale as well.
They're not able to, because we're talking about the rest of the squad, right?
Yeah, because they were up on the battlements manning the thing, and they're not firing.
They're not with what they have, even with the black shot, because they're only threat 1 with their muskets. Black shot gives them potency, so 2. Black Rotting Gale is at 4.
Fair enough.
They do nothing to Black Rotting Gale. So yeah, they can be
so
firing.
They are shooting, but they're not having an effect.
Yeah. If you want to, you can roll a setup action with them, like for whatever you guys do next.
Okay.
That's the thing you could do, but on their own, like they can't damage Black Rotting Gale. So Black Rotting Gale, look, the effect of its action, quote unquote, because they don't have stats or actions or whatever, but the idea is whatever you're going to do next, better succeed, because the consequence is going to be smash. So basically, Rain is now staring down an extremely mutilated Black Rotting Gale. The necrotic black flesh of its body is rent in multiple places, especially with the giant bolt impaling it now, with still the gout of alchemical fire spewing out of it, because it's mixing with his own internal alchemy bits, which are nasty. And it's been shot several times with black shot as well. It's spewing all kinds of fumes in addition to the miasma that is natural to it, quote unquote. And it's looking to rip Rain apart. So that's something, Rain, if you want to do anything, first you're going to need to resist having that done to you. And then we can talk about the other stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so it's over to you guys. Everyone else downstairs, I'm just going to say they put in an effort of 2 on the gate, because it's like taking half of what the blighter is capable of. And then Black Rotting Gale is on the battlements, about to throw down.
Yeah,
what do you guys do?
I'm still up there, aren't I?
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's
so
up there.
He's locked eyes with Rain Deadeye.
Yep. Rain Deadeye is being
probably like slowly bringing his gun up to point at him. That's the moment when Grey Standing Cliff comes in from the side, grabs the end of that spear, and gives it a good hard jiggling.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of role are we looking for here?
That sounds like a skirmish role to me.
Sounds skirmishy to me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It'd be a War Machine, but I don't have enough stress to survive it.
Yeah, there is that, I guess. Yeah.
Unless you take a.
There's Devil's Bargains though.
We have never taken so many Devil's Bargains in sessions, man.
You never fought a lieutenant.
Devil's Bargain.
Devil's Bargain. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep hammering on because I got my corruption in before. It's the infiltrator again. They're looking to do their bad deed, which they have.
See, the fact that you've presented this to all three of us says to me that you really want to do that storyline.
Yeah.
But it could be bad. The Marshal looks different this week.
So what does that do for me, Devil's Bargain?
You can choose extra die, extra level of effect, which is the one that you're struggling with.
That's what I want with. Right, okay, so I'll have an extra.
You can use it to activate the War Machine.
No, unfortunately, no. The War Machine is reliant on not the devil, but your own strength of arms.
Damn.
Cross fingers, kids.
Critical.
6s!
Boom! Critical as well. You
Cleo stress, don't you?
So no, not with this. It's the resistance, but this increases the effect again. So we're looking at threat. Your weapon is. I guess you're using the bolt as a weapon. So, threat 1 because that's who you are. Threat +1 because you're using the black bolt, which is good.
Devil's Bargain.
1 from the Devil's Bargain. 1 for your critical. So you're looking at 4. You're an even round with the Black Rotting Gale, and you rolled a critical. You suffer no consequences as you kill the Black Rotting Gale, a lieutenant of the Blighter. Describe to us how this happens.
Well, as I say, he's like having this proper standoff, like, like in a cowboy movie with Rain Deadeye. And Rain Deadeye's lining up his gun, and then Grey Standing Cliff just comes in from the side, grabs the spear that's sticking out of him, gives it a good jiggle, and then
just yanks out the side.
And probably finishes the whole thing with a big Panya yowl.
Dramatically kick off the wall, man. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
And then
I imagine you rip the thing out, kick
it down into the fire.
This is Calisco.
Calisco stands.
Yeah. So Black Rotting Gale, in a stream of alchemical fires and the unhealthy miasma, which you take great pains to get away from immediately. The streaming corpse smashes onto the troops under the gate, which are being burned alive unalive, I guess, and it lies broken at the gate, and then we go into the montage.
Is Mission Green?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, the captain's showing us the way. Pour it on.
Like into them now, and then we have the sort of like fading out audio of like people yelling in silence, and there's like ladders being pushed, and I think there's a very large Zemyati man who's just like bench pressing a rotter like off the off the wall.
That still only counts as one.
Yeah. And these like small scenes of victory as slowly the vigor goes out of the assault at the gates, and the gates themselves are pretty much done because it's corrupted almost to like a paper-like state by the Black Rotting Gale. However, Rakash has successfully barricaded it, so it's there, but it's not going to be as effective going forward, but it's still standing. And there's a mighty cheer that goes up when the final Rotter is put to the ground at the gate, and you see the siege machines like receding back into their siege camps. Yeah, and there's a lot of yelling, and there's I think like Rakash is being held aloft and like bounced about by the peasant levies who helped him reinforce the thing. And there's a whole group of grim-faced battlement soldiers that come and like hug and shake hands with Rain and Grey Standingcliff at the battlements, and they're all suffering like various degrees of. You can see like the horrifying acid burns that you almost got hit with as well. Some of them are missing digits. Someone's missing a hand. There's eyes lost. But they come over because you held the gate and broke the back of the assault, and they come over and celebrated with you. And that is it for that particular mission. We succeeded, and we took down Black Rotting Gale.
That takes him out of the game as well. It takes him.
Yeah. There's no more Black Rotting Gale, and the Blighter only has 2 more lieutenants.
Only
2 more. So, yep.
Yikes!
All right, so
that was a little bit too close for.
Well, I think I was suitably reckless and panyari this time.
For XP, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Black Rotting Gale was 4, so we get at least 4, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Survive the mission. Have the squad through, yeah. Put into play your heritage or trauma, yeah.
Oh, do I get 2 XP for the 2 6s on a desperate action? Or do I just get 1 XP for the 6 on a desperate action? I forgot to mark that one down.
I'm gonna look at that.
It's every time you roll a desperate action, so it's for the roll, so it's just
for the right.
Yeah, so yes.
Okay, guys, I've got enough to get a special ability. I'm thinking of taking Harden because I've already got 1 trauma.
Yeah, sure.
Longevity for
we're
our elites.
Oh no, wait a minute, guys. Or I could take specialist and promote myself to being a specialist.
That is true as well. However, there's some requirements
you have to match the.
Let's see.
Starting.
Right, Grey Standingcliff's a survivor. You can have an extra trauma now.
Okay, let's see.
Did you find both of them survivors?
So, in order to promote to a specialist, you must have all the starting actions of that specialist at the rank that they would have it. So, for example, if you wanted to be a sniper, you would have to have 1 scout and 2 shoot. Okay. So depending on what kind of specialist we're looking at, that might be possible for Rakash.
Well, I've pretty much got low-level skirmish maneuver and consort, and then I've got shoot and marshal at 2.
That seems like there should probably be some ground there. So
the hardest one to get is a medic.
I'm throwing this open to you guys. I mean, do you think it's worth me going for that? Or you think I should just take the survivor?
We haven't had any extra specialists, so potentially that might be.
Yeah, be a specialist.
Or I could take Grenadier.
Grenadier has served us pretty well.
I've got rubbish wrecking score there, so.
Yeah. So how much scout do you have?
Scout, none.
Okay. Just going through these.
You probably could get maybe an officer or a heavy, probably the 2 that you would be closest to, I think.
Yeah. Do you have sway?
Nope.
Okay. So I think we're not eligible for any at the moment.
Okay.
Because if you don't have rec, do you have rec?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't have any of the requirements for the specialists at this time.
Right. So as far as I can see, guys, I've got 2 choices. I can take survivor to gain an extra trauma. Or I could take loaded for bear, which gives me 4 utility load instead of 2.
Both are good choices.
Oh, loaded for bear is quite nice.
Both are good choices.
What do you think, guys?
Do you like loaded for bear?
Because I already start off packing a reliquary, even if we don't spend any.
There is that. What was the other? What does the soldiers get? Oh, look.
Do you know what? It's purely a survival thing. I'm just going to take the survivor and get the extra trauma.
Yep.
Because I've already got one ticked.
Holding out is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So untick all of my load for next time.
I've taken elite for Rain. You can now go up to. How do I designate what the 2 skills are you can go up to rank 4 in? Doesn't
I
actually
assume
ask.
when you buy them up, you just buy them up to rank 4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll know which those are when you buy them.
Buy them. Okay.
Is
Does that include his specialist thing as well? So you can only get to go up the rank 3 of like his aim or anchor or.
I think so. I'm gonna have to check that.
Because that might be what I'll do. Or suggest whoever plays it when it happens is aim and shoot with the 2 you should go for with.
Rain's aim has done a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, so I've worked out my XP.
You could see that question come in from a mile away when he said, "Can I use this bolt with my aim? Because I'm 100% going to do that."
Okay, so we get +1 intel from that, and we get +1 morale.
We're currently at top morale. Currently, however, we haven't done the second mission yet. So.
So our secondary mission is a trade mission.
Yeah, it's a supply mission, isn't it?
Supply mission is. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Okie dokie.
So for a supply mission, we are looking at heavy officer or scout.
I'm gonna send the officer.
Okay, and then pick a squad.
Well, none of them are really specialized in trade negotiation.
No, it's not a mercantile outfit.
So, I'm gonna send the Grinning Ravens.
Okay.
Because they're almost like a general purpose backbone. You know, they can do a lot. I'm getting the new people in the squad accustomed to each other.
Yep.
Somehow they could die in this mission, so.
Yeah, I mean that is not a difficult proposition given all that we know.
So.
There are some shady ass people in this fort with you, including you.
And in the Legion apparently now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone took that.
Yeah, I took it.
Okay,
I'm just going to be like, why is there an extra specialist on my roster?
No. Why has he got a massive moustache that he's rubbing?
Yeah.
The thing is going to be, Rain, it's not going to be a new face. It's going to be the same face.
Oh, no.
That's how the infiltration happens.
Yeah. God. Yeah, why is Rain suddenly became religious and?
Yeah, why does Rain have a mustache?
Technical.
Why is he wearing a top hat?
Yeah.
And tying a woman to the rain tracks.
Very, very fancy received pronunciation English accents all of a sudden. I don't know why that
is Rain wearing a monocle?
He's going on about the good old days in the times of Queen Victoria.
Yeah. And he's swilling around like a big glass of wine while he's talking.
Yeah. And occasionally he says, "It's treason, is it?" Not from a legionnaire. You cannot learn this.
Well, why does Rain keep suggesting that we give him like emergency powers that he'll definitely hand back when it's all over?
Yeah, he'll make the Legion great again. Okay. So I have an officer and a squad.
Yep.
What is the engagement role?
I guess, John, if you want to look at the quartermaster, if we spend 1 food, we can take an extra die on this.
Please.
Sorry,
Please.
the sheet.
Because, guys, this is this could tank our morale. Also, we've almost got through a mission.
It's spam.
Okay, 2 dice.
2 dice, and I've asked this, but I always ask this, but I can't use the campaign boosting with the officer. Not for this. No, I didn't think so. I always ask it.
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so
I
we didn't
food to give Matthew an extra
tank that.
I did not.
We've now got +1 supply and +1 horses.
So what we have is you can choose, Marshall. Fail the mission, and this might be the time that we actually fail the mission. I don't know, but you can choose to fail the mission. Everyone returns unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, nothing happens because the fail condition is none in the mission itself. However, if you choose to go ahead with it, you can succeed. 2 squad members die, and all specialists take 2 harm in order to receive the rewards of the mission. So basically, cancel everything out, nothing happens, or take the rewards and lose 2 people, take 2 harm to the officer.
Might be worth just failing it when you get 1 supply and 1 horse.
How desperate are we for these things?
We've got a fair bit of horses and we've got 2 supply. Yeah, I'd just fail it, Matthew.
Alright, I'm gonna fail it. Do I still get the XP though for attempting?
Yeah, the specialists, the officer gets the 2 XP anyway.
Just to check.
Yep. So what that means is you went to the market, or the officer went to the market with the grinning ravens, and they got out before making deals with the merchant prince, and also they got out before anything bad happened in dark alleyways. So good times. So we fail the Emerald Light without any consequences. That's a first for us.
Woohoo!
So we succeeded, guys, quite well this time. So
we had a lot of prep. We took a lot of gear.
We are gonna get so fucked next week.
There was some good siege strategy, I thought.
Okay, so
because they're not gonna stop throwing
we've
shit
still got
at
campaign
us.
actions as well.
So. Yeah. So bookkeeping, blah blah blah. So commander, food is consumed. Rather, quartermaster, I guess. 1 food is eaten as time passes.
Take it off the top.
And commander, pressure and time increase by 1 each.
Okay. Done.
And then, if we are still, as we are, I think, at top morale, we have how many actions, Marshall? Campaign actions?
2.
Okay.
Definitely 2. We're topped out in morale.
Yep.
We've successfully done 2 assaults, came back alive, taken out 2. We've engaged in Rotting Gale twice and come out victorious this time.
Yep. You have 2 campaign actions, and then, of course, you have your supply if you wish to boost those or gain more of them.
I presume because we've got to find a route to move on. That's going to be a sort of long-term project, is it?
Yeah, that's a very good way of going about it.
So good idea.
So that's a quartermaster project, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the morale like? How many actions do I get?
2 by default.
2 by default.
We could spend a supply for an extra one if we wanted, but we can't leave here until we've done the project.
Right. Okay. So let's get a clock on there.
Okay. So how many on the clock? Johannes?
I wish there was even the slightest indication of how hard that would be, but I'm gonna say, especially because now we've sort of failed our initial entrance into the business side of Fort Calisco. Let's go with 8.
Okay. I'm just gonna call it find a route.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yep. We might, if there's a good roll, we might do it in 2. We might not, depending on the rolls.
So we're gonna have to do at least 1 action.
I'm gonna suggest that you request that Squire Theodore Logan helps boost this.
Yes.
Okay, so we're sending out the Squire to.
Yeah, get the rookie some.
Excellent.
Yeah. So the assets rating is 2, so we're rolling 2 dice, and
the
we're going to see
Squire
how
gets
well.
some sort of bonuses, and I can't.
Yeah, the Squire is going to upgrade the result, but yeah,
so
2 dice.
Just roll the 2 dice.
The officer was on the mission.
Okay. 6.
Okay.
Nice.
I am squeezing every resource out of my roster possible. All the juice.
Okay, let me look at this thing. So here we go. Oh, that's the. Okay, here we go. You can do this campaign action multiple times during campaign phase. Only if you work on different project each time, so you can do this only once.
Yeah.
Per campaign turn. And you've rolled a 6, which is very good, and you sent a person who, by their quality of being noble, they upgrade the result by 1. So I'm delighted to tell you guys that you can fill in 5 ticks to your clock there.
Yeah, boy. Only got 3 left.
Okay.
Nice. Applause.
Aside from Grey Standing Cliff, who else needs rest and recuperation or whatever it is, the thing that drops?
The stress one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rain was getting close to topped out. He was doing some creative math back there.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna de-stress.
I think that activates Zora's come hither. I shall
It does.
corrupt you.
Yep.
Yeah,
It does
de-stress,
indeed.
decorrupt. If that's possible too.
Yep.
Grand.
So that is.
There's 2 levels to it, isn't there? There's like the normal.
Yeah, so
version
the normal level is every character clears up to 3 stress, increase Legion morale by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The boosted one, Legionnaires clear all stress, Legion morale goes up by 4.
We are topped out on morale.
Oh, that's the
It's the Liberty one.
Liberty. Okay, yeah, because we're looking at 2. Yeah. So the Liberty is, I think that's a different one. I don't think that
so,
is the Zora one.
Yeah, I think it's
What's
rest and
the-
recuperation.
Yeah, let me look at the thing.
Right. Okay.
The rest of
Liberty
recuperation is the Zora one. Yeah. So
Basically,
Liberty.
Marshall, how are the men? Do they need rest and recuperation? Do they need liberty?
Liberty. They didn't take us too many injuries from that siege because the walls protected us, but they are severely stressed out.
And clear stress.
So am I just rolling 2 dice for the Liberty for the asset rating, or?
No, the Liberty. I think it just happens.
3
Yeah.
stress,
okay,
and then
cool.
unless you
Yeah.
boost
So
it.
everyone can clear 3
We send the
stress.
soldiers out. They blow off some steam.
Okay,
Yeah,
sweet.
okay.
That's Rakash free of stress.
Nice.
And now Matthew has to go through every character sheet and take.
That's absolutely fine.
And I've knocked 3 off Grey Standing Cliff, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right. Okay. It's only the played characters that need to be done.
Alright, Kingfisher Knight's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Squire Theodore's done. Catty Wilbur. Where are you?
Theon doesn't have any.
Clear that guy. Vermilion. Well, Vermilion's no longer a player character. He is full of stress. Baronet. Did the Baronet come with a mission?
Right, I think we also need some more assets, yeah?
So you have to spend the supply to get an extra action if you want to do that.
Oh, right. No, we'll keep the 2 supply then for now.
Because obviously, because we failed that mission, we didn't get an extra supply.
Right. So if we're not spending supply, then that is that part done.
Yep.
And completed. So again, let me refer to my thingamajig here. Okay. Well, we cannot advance, so I'm not going to ask the commander whether we do so. We absolutely cannot do that. And then the only question before next time is, Commander, what mission type would you prefer?
I'm guessing you'd like supply missions.
I don't know. I think I'm going to get the quartermaster's.
Yeah, I get to pick, but I'm asking what would you
Oh,
like?
yeah, I always want supply missions.
Special mission would be pretty tasty.
Yeah.
If we
If you want, you have the intel, you can force one.
Okay,
if you want.
so
I would like us to have 2 missions to choose from. That's what I would like.
So could I say that we're going for supply mission, but then spend an intel to force us back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But,
Yeah.
So I
Okay,
spend the intel.
So at least one of the missions, whether it's 2 or 3, is going to be a special one for next time.
Because I feel like we could pick up like a real gnarled veteran here.
I've mainly gone for it because normally the special missions don't have any consequences for failing. So worst comes to worst, we can sack off the special mission if we get 3 and not have to worry about it.
Yep. That is one of the things. Usually it's kind of like you can get a lot, or you could just leave it. Instead of these like make it or break it. Like you either do it or you get pounded into the ground. Okay, so that was it for the side gate siege.
Excellent. Thank you very much for running it. Very much enjoyed.
Well done.
Thank you, man. That was a lot of fun.
We succeeded.
Okay.
Okay, until next time.
Indeed, I shall end the recording here.